Hello friends, I am Ruby Unyal, Head, Department of Psychology, KTHM College, Nasik. Friends, psychology is not one discipline, but rather a collection of many sub-disciplines that all share at least some common approaches and that work together and exchange knowledge to form a coherent discipline. Because the field of psychology is so broad, students may wonder which areas are more suitable for their interest and which types of careers might be available to them. Today we will consider some career paths in psychology that will help you consider the answer to these questions. Depending on their functions, we have two major branches of psychology. So we have theoretical branches and we have applied branches. First of all, let us look at the theoretical branches. They are also called as the pure branches. The pure branches provide the theoretical framework of the subject. These branches deal with formulation of principles, theories, and suggest different methods for the assessment of behavior. The pure branches also suggest certain techniques for the modification of problematic behavior. Applied branches deal with the application of psychological principles and techniques for approaching the problems in different fields of life. So, if you look at the slide carefully, you will observe that all the theoretical branches are branches that are pure branches which do a lot of research. They study the different theoretical concepts and they provide us a lot of knowledge and insight into the theoretical background of that particular area. Whereas the applied fields, what we can see on the right side, they are majorly the applications or the applied fields of these theoretical concepts in our day-to-day life. So in the theoretical branches, we have biological psychology, we have animal psychology, child psychology, developmental psychology, experimental psychology, abnormal psychology, social psychology, cognitive psychology, personality psychology. On the other hand, we have applied branches. Friends, although I have mentioned a small list over here, but daily there are more and more branches of psychology that are coming up, and today psychology is applied in nearly all walks of life. So, to mention a few of them, we have educational psychology, clinical psychology, sports psychology, military psychology, criminal psychology, forensic psychology, industrial and organizational psychology, counseling psychology, and health psychology. Apart from this, there are many more branches which we can list over here. Now, since we have spelt out the different branches of psychology, let us consider them one by one. So first of all, let us have a look at clinical psychology. This is the largest field of psychology. The focus is on the assessment, diagnosis, causes, and treatment of mental disorders. Clinical psychology is that branch of psychology which is concerned with the mental illnesses, abnormal behavior, the psychiatric disorders. Clinicians often work in private practice, but many also work in community centers or at universities and colleges. Others work in hospital settings or mental health clinics as part of a collaboration team that may include physicians, psychiatrists, and other mental health professionals. Clinical and counseling psychologists provide therapy to patients with the goal of improving their life experiences. They work in hospitals, schools, social agencies, and in private practice. Because the demand for this career is high, entry to academic programs is highly competitive. Now, in our college itself, we observe that there is too much competition for the entry in our subject. This specialization today is gaining more importance and more people today need psychological help. So basically, clinical psychology is an upcoming field wherein people work with not only the various disorders but even the other mental health issues that the common man faces. The next branch is industrial and organizational psychology. Industrial and organizational psychology is a branch that applies psychological principles to research on workplace issues such as productivity and behavior. This field of psychology, often referred to as IO psychology, works to improve productivity and efficiency in the workplace while also maximizing the well-being of employees. Research in IO psychology is known as applied research because it seeks to solve real world problems. IO psychologists study topics such as workers' attitude, employee behaviors, organizational processes, and leadership. Some psychologists in this field work in areas such as human factors, ergonomics, and human computer interaction. Human factors psychology is an interdisciplinary field that focuses on topics such as human error, product design, ergonomics, human capability, and human computer interaction. People who work in human factors are focused on improving how people interact with products and machines, both in and out of the workplace. They might help design products intended to minimize injury or create workplaces that promote greater accuracy and improved safety. There are a wide variety of career opportunities in these fields, generally working in businesses. These psychologists help select employees, evaluate employee performance, and examine the effects of different working conditions on behaviors. That is, right from the time of selection, recruitment, training, planning, performance appraisal. Industrial psychologists, or usually they work in the human resource department or the personnel department of an organization, they are very effectively working in this field. They may also work to design equipment and environments that improve employee performance and reduce accidents. So majorly people who are from the industrial psychology background have good career opportunities in the personnel department of an organization. The next important branch that we are going to discuss is very familiar and very close to all of us. Yes, it is educational psychology. So educational psychology is the branch of psychology which is concerned with schools, teaching psychology, educational issues, and student concerns. Educational psychologists often study how students learn or work directly with students, parents, teachers, and administrators to improve student outcomes. They might study how different variables influence individual student outcomes. They also study topics such as learning disabilities, giftedness, the instructional process, and individual differences. School psychologists work in elementary and secondary schools or school district offices with students, teachers, parents, and administrators. They may assess children's psychological and learning problems and develop programs to minimize the impact of these problems. So, majorly, the people who are working in the field of education have to do a lot of things with regards to the mentality of the student, the mindset of the students. So, their research areas are the students, parenting issues, the family environment of the child, teacher training, and the basic administration in the school. So basically, they are applying all the theoretical concepts of psychology like memory, learning, sensation, perception in the field of education. Friends, as mentioned earlier, although we have a huge big list of branches in psychology, we will be discussing here only those that have been spelled out in our syllabus. So the next branch of psychology is social psychology. Social psychology seeks to explain and understand social behavior and looks at diverse topics including group behavior, social interactions, leadership, non-verbal communication, and social influence on decision making. This field of psychology is focused on the study of topics such as group behavior. Basically, social psychology studies of behavior of an individual in the society, how a person performs in the presence of others. Social psychologist looks at various issues related to social perception, non-verbal behavior, conformity, aggression, and prejudice. Social influences on behavior are a major interest in social psychology, but social psychologists are also focused on how people perceive and interact with others. They basically try and study what are the interactions that are going on in the community. Basically, there are three different levels of behavior. One is the individual level, then there is one-to-one interaction between two people, and lastly, you have interaction of the person with a group or with the society. So basically, social psychologists study all the different interactions. They also try and find out how the presence of others influences our behavior. Now, when an individual deals in the society, he has number of interactions. The first unit or the first social group where the individual interacts is his family. So the social interactions begin from family. Once the child is born, he first interacts with his mother, then father, maybe siblings, grandparents, relatives. So this is his small circle, or the process of socialization begins in the family. After the child is socialized with the family or the setting, he starts moving out and then he mingles with the people around him, maybe in his surroundings, people who stay in his locality, in his building. After a period of time, when the child starts moving to school, he has number of other interactions and makes lot of friends. So he interacts with people around him. He may interact with people while commuting, maybe the rickshaw driver or maybe the bus driver. After he goes to school, he interacts with the teacher, the other classmates, and so on. And slowly, this process of socialization begins from here. Once the process of initial socialization begins, people start indulging into various complex interactions. And as we grow older, there are a number of different interactions in which we are involved. After a period of time, people enroll into various social groups, they involve themselves into various community programs, they are members of different organizations, and this is where they interact with more and more people. Once they start working or you are in the job place, again there is more interaction. There are concepts like leadership, there are concepts of group dynamics, how people behave in groups, how they function in groups, what are their behavior when they are with people, how do they behave when they work alone. So there are a number of other dynamics that can be studied under the head of social psychology. Then we have some concepts such as aggression, there is competition, there is conformity, compliance. All these topics are studied in social psychology. Apart from that, communication is an important part of the social psychology or the social behavior. In this, we study the formal communication. At the same time, we also study the importance of non-verbal communication. Now, non-verbal communication is also a very important part of one's behavioral process. Many a times people look at the formal communication, but there are a lot of hidden meanings that can be revealed through non-verbal communication. So, a lot of importance is given to gestures, facial movements, your posture, body language, and many other aspects of the human behavior, which are also studied in social psychology. So friends, today we have studied the different branches of psychology. In this we have seen clinical psychology, industrial and organizational psychology, educational psychology and social psychology. Let me tell you, in the second semester we are going to study the social psychology paper in detail. So today what we have seen, social psychology is one of the theoretical branches, whereas clinical, industrial and organizational psychology and educational psychology are a part of the applied branches of psychology. So in the coming lectures, we would be studying in detail yet another branches and the career avenues that are available in the fields of psychology. I'm sure you would have understood these branches of psychology. Thanks a lot for watching this video.